Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while since I updated a video. I was on vacation overseas. Now I'm back and ready to attack. So today's video, we're going to be doing a 3x3 transmission fluid change for a 2004 Acura TL, and I'm going to be using Amsoil. I heard nothing but good things about them. Been using OEM, but I want to try something different. So the tools that you need is pretty simple. It's not too hard. So you need a ratchet. This right here is gonna insert it where the transmission bolt is under the car and loosen up with this right here. And of course you need this for this one. You need a long extension and a socket size 11/16 to remove the ATF filler bolt. And you're gonna need some gloves, some rags, floor jack, pan in the funnel, jack stands on both sides I recommend, and put something in the two back rear wheels so the car doesn't move. So first thing first, I'm gonna show you where the ATF filler bolt is at. So you see it right there. And I'm gonna see if I can point to it. Yeah, exactly right there. So we're gonna loosen up the bolt but not completely take it off. That's gonna release the pressure, and then the transmission fluid, once we remove the bolt, it should drain out easily and more efficiently. Put it in. Now if it's too tight, just grab the two poles from your floor jack, insert it right here, and then turn it counterclockwise, and it will loosen up. Now I already broke it loose, so see, it's already broken loose. I'm gonna loosen it, but not completely take it out. Now we're gonna go under the car and loosen up the transmission drain bolt. Right, so we are under the car, and this is where you want to place the floor jack placement, right under the subframe. And I'm gonna show you where the transmission bolt is at. So it's actually right here. So like I said, you take this ratchet, you stick this part in, make sure you have oil pan under, and just turn it loose. So if you can't get it loose, I suggest getting a half floor jack bar like this. Stick it in right here. Jack the car over there high so you have clearance on the ground, and then just turn it. There we go. Just broke it loose. Oh, just loosen everything. There you go. Just turn everything by hand and make sure the oil pan is right under. And what I like to do, I like to raise it up. There you go. So let's examine this. Doesn't look too bad. You have some slushes. Not really too much of a metal. There's maybe like dirt and slushes. So this is a good sign. Now use a lot of slushes, so I'm surprised for what I've seen. And this is magnetic, so it's supposed to collect metal shavings with transmission, but I don't see any. Just a whole bunch of slushes. So I'm actually surprised. Now what we're gonna do is just wipe it clean. So this is how it looks like once you wipe it clean. Now you can spray some like alcohol or some brake cleaner, it'll clean it up. and then dry up immediately, but I just use a rag and just wipe it down. So as you can see in the video, it's still dripping, so we're gonna let it drip until it completely stops dripping, and then we're gonna place the drain bolt back on, and then we're gonna take the oil pan right here. We're gonna dump it out into an empty container to see how many quarts of transmission fluid came out, and then we're gonna pour the exact same amount into the transmission through, of course, the ATF filler bolt. So let's place the bolt back on. And I know there's a lot of fluid leak. I just ordered the part, but I'm gonna do my valve cover gasket too. It definitely needs replacement. Now just grab the ratchet, stick it in, make sure it's turning clockwise. Well, make sure it's all the way in. You don't want to strip it. Then with arm strength, just turn it one last time. And then make sure, just grab a bar and just bang it. That's good enough. So as you can see in the video, about 3 quarts came out. So we're going to go ahead, place the funnel where the ATF filler bolt is at, and we're going to pour in 3 quarts of Amsoil transmission fluid, and then we're going to measure it through the dipstick to make sure it's not too much and it's not too little. So I already moved the filler bolt, and this is how it looks like. See, and it says it right there, ATF. So we're going to be pouring in about from here to about that much. If you want, I suggest getting another funnel, put it on top so you have more clearance, so you can pour it in and it doesn't like leak out. Just slowly pour it in. And look at the color of the fluid, it's like reddish, pinkish. We're gonna start the car up. We're gonna cycle it through the gears and then drive it for like 5 minutes, and then come back and do another fluid change for the second time. And then we're gonna do it the same thing process. Let it cycle through the gear, drive it for 5 minutes, and then the final 3x3, the same step. So I'm gonna go ahead, get everything ready, and I'm gonna show you the final step when I do the last 3x3 fluid change, and then I'm gonna show you the level of the dipstick for the ATF fluid and the color. It should be pinkish red. Now I forgot to show in the video, so this has a washer, and I found it once I took the funnel out from the ATF filler hole. So make sure you place it here and then place it back. It's basically a crush washer. So I say it still looks good, but if it gets thinner than this, I recommend you buy a new crush washer. Now I already started up the car, and we're gonna cycle it through the gears. So got the e-brake on in case it moves. So let's put it on reverse, neutral, low, drive, and then I like to put in the manumatic, up and then down. Same thing, down, low gear, high gear, neutral, reverse, and then park. The reason why you're doing this, you're not mixing up the transmission fluid, you're just pushing it through. So you know, it's just like you're pushing out the old one, pushing in the new one. So let's do it one more time. Neutral, drive, low gear, drive, neutral, reverse, park. Alright, let's go and take it for a spin for at least 5 minutes. So we're going to do a little bit of a test drive. I'm just going to show you this part of the driving, and then when I come back after 5 minutes and do the second of the 3x3 and then the last of the 3x3, I'm just going to show you the dipstick, make sure everything is level out, and make sure the color is pinkish. We're just going to drive around the neighborhood. So far with the Amsoil, it feels like it's shifting faster, and this is only 3 quarts that came out on the transmission and 3 quarts of Amsoil that I put in. So already I feel like a little bit of a big difference. I can tell because I drive this car every day and I use nothing but Honda transmission fluid. This is my first time using Amsoil, and so far it's pretty smooth. Now before I did the transmission fluid change, I noticed that, you know, when I take off from first to second gear to third, it actually like hesitates, or it feel like, you know, it doesn't want to shift immediately. Now I noticed with the Amsoil, it's shifting effortlessly. It's kind of hard to explain, but I think it would be better if you do it yourself. I mean, once you do your transmission fluid change, and then you would know exactly what I'm talking about. But right now, it is shifting with no issue, no problem. I'm gonna stop the car, then I'm gonna put it on manumatic, put it on low gear, and then switch it over to manumatic so it can fully cycle in. And we're gonna do the same thing when we do the second 3x3. Let the gear cycle through, drive for another 5 minutes, and then the last 3x3 do the same thing. But as of right now, it is like surprisingly smooth, and it's shifting effortlessly. Like I say, before I did the transmission fluid change, it felt like it was lagging, like it didn't want to shift. Like you actually have to like floor it a little bit more so it can shift. But this is pretty smooth. I'm using manumatic. Now I should have shown you when I was driving in manumatic before I did the transmission fluid change. When I shift from third to fourth, it would kind of shudder, or you know, it felt like it didn't want to shift. While I'm in fourth gear, it's like it's pretty good. Now what I'm gonna do, there's a long strip right here. I'm gonna stop first gear. Now we're gonna take off second, third, and then fourth. Look at that, it's shifting with no problem. Now make sure the car is completely stopped. Switch it back to auto drive and let it shift on its own. mess with Amsoil. Now let's go back around. Alright, so I just completed the last of the 3x3, and remember this is about 2.5 gallons, so it's about 10 quarts, and we only need 9 quarts because we're doing a 3x3, so 3 quarts of transmission fluid should come out from the transmission each time you drain it out. So 3x3, 3 times 3, that's 9. So that's about right. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the dipstick. So that's just about right. So let's wipe it down. Look at it. It's still like it's pinkish, has a little bit of brown in it, but once I drive it, it should blend right in and change color to pinkish. I mean, you can't completely take out all the transmission fluid because some of it is in the torque converter, but this is the best we can do, and you do not want to flush it. I repeat, do not flush it. So let's stick it back in. Dipstick, stick it back in. Wait for like 10 seconds, grab a new rag. Let's pull it up. It's about level, and let's wipe it down. Now look at that. Now before it was caramel color, almost like old oil, but this is pretty good considering we can't take everything out from the torque converter. So I'll make another video in like a month or two with an update. Then maybe the 3x3 is not enough. Might have to do a 4x4. But this is how you change out the transmission fluid 3x3 for a 2004 Acura TL. Thanks for watching.